Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
I came home from the road. This is not long ago. I've been gone for, if you can picture, I was gone for weeks and weeks. And when I came back, nobody was home. Now, one person in my family thought that maybe I'd like to see them when I got back. Like, they knew when I was coming back, but they just weren't home. And that was a wake-up call. You know, like when my kids were little, and the tour bus would pull up to the house, these motherfuckers would spill out. Dad is home, hooray! And they'd hug me and kiss me, and then as the years went on, they'd get less interested. Hey everybody, look, it's Mr. Promises back from the road. But an empty house, that's some cold shit. And I went into my oldest son's room. I was like, hello, hello. He was gone. And I'd never done this to him before, but for some reason I just did it. I just looked through his shit. Just to see who this motherfucker was becoming. And I found these notebooks and I started going through the notebooks and it was all this wonderful poetry in them.
Open the door, close the door, I am so confused.
Written in his handwriting. I didn't even know this wrote poems. And then I looked through his drawers and I opened up his drawer and I found this rolling paper. And I looked down at them papers like, oh, that's where that poetry's coming from. And that shit broke my heart. I mean, I smoked weed, but I mourned my son's innocence. And I cried a little bit. And I took his papers upstairs to my room. Rolled some weed that I'd hid from the family. And I got really high. And then I got paranoid, so I put his papers back how I found them. So he wouldn't know what I was up to. Won't even know that that happened till he sees the special. Yeah, I found your papers.
Hey, Popcorn world.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in the back of a can. But you make it round the world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn
World. 2, 3, 4.
I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard to live it, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause who knows what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming. I know, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. And then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me please. And he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Whoa, there've been times that I thought, whoa, I would last too long. But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. Oh, yes it will.
don't have time to fool around. Never noise keeps us lined up. When truth divine, the sound that you hear is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the sound. We're talking noise. Oh yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise. Welcome to Talkin' Noise, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin' Noise himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin' Noise is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin' Noise.
Stand up. Sharing, loving, hoping, and working together. Growing, supporting each other through stormy weather. Making leaps and bounds through advocacy. Spreading joy and awareness for all to see. There's no community without you and me. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build each other up. We expand our networking and resources. We never give up. We stand for what is right. We never go down without a fight. The African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. I say, it takes a village to become a community. So community, please stand up. We are waiting.
Uh-oh. Can't hear you at all.
You can't hear me at all?
It sounds pretty bad.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, good people. Good people, yo.
That's how bad it sounds. Welcome to Talkin' Noise. We got a lot to discuss tonight. There's been a lot going on in the media this week, the past couple of weeks, and we want to hear from you guys to tell us your thoughts and discuss the topics at hand.
Why are you being so formal?
Because that's how I'm not you.
I'm just saying this is family. It's a family meeting. That sound better?
Yes.
Okay. Family, it's good to see y'all tonight. I don't know why Mama Noise treating y'all like we don't. We just met y'all.
It could be a little louder, I'm just saying.
It could, well, I ain't worried about that. Here's what I'm trying to do tonight. I'm trying to get y'all to see some things. I started the show off with a lot of positivity because we got a lot of things that we got to talk about tonight. and some of this is going to get wildly uncomfortable for some of you. But here's what I would like for you all to do. And here's what I would like for everybody in the room to do. Let's just hear each other. I ain't saying you got to agree, but you do have to hear it. You have to just take your time and hear and let's just talk. Because that's how you get to the healing part. All right. Mama Noise, I got the chat. Stop worrying about the chat. I got it. I got you because I want them to hear us tonight. And we're gonna get to everything. Catherine, is good to see you as well. All the noise makers is good to see y'all. From Twitter on to Facebook, on to YouTube. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. And those who are on the rewatch gang, you know who you are. Appreciate y'all as well. So that we have a good show. So that I know we're gonna have a good show. Let me start out like I always do. Mama Noise, how are you doing tonight?
I'm well.
There you go. Now I know it's gonna be a good show. As long as Mama Noise is well, we are good. All right. So we should have a good time tonight. Good conversation. I definitely got to get. I feel like we should get white organs. We need some of that down home gospel anointment to lead us into the throne room. Because if we don't have that tonight, things might not go as well as we want them to. You know what I'm saying? So let me get white organists into the building. White organists, give us something to go with, brother. Appreciate it. Praise the Lord, saints. Praise the Lord. Listen, tonight's gonna get a little tight. But we're gonna do this together because we family. That's what family do. Sometimes we gotta have a family meeting, sit down, have some difficult conversations, and bring the healing back to the family. So grab your church fans, grab your Bibles, tithes and envelopes, all that. Let's get this thing going like on the weekend. All right? All right. Here we go. See, if you sense my tone, Mama Noise, my tone is very serious tonight. Because, thank you, White Organ. Appreciate you, brother. My tone is very serious tonight because the things that the stuff that we got to talk about is very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we were going to talk about this Saturday night, but we had some conflicts come up, and some people couldn't make it or whatever. And so we wanted to save this till Tuesday night. But we're going to get into some stuff, man. And obviously, the first thing that we have to talk about is the Diddy situation.
Well, you know what's peculiar?
Okay, what's peculiar, Mama Noise?
If you had talked about it Saturday, you would not have been able to include the apology that was on Sunday.
I agree. So I appreciate you saying that, Mama Noise. You are correct. So let's get into catch everybody up. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's been going on, let me catch you up to what's going on. Earlier this year, Diddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, was really brought up on some allegations by his former girlfriend, Cassie. And those allegations were very, very strong. Sex trafficking, physical stuff that, he beat on her. Just a lot of different stuff that was thrown, allegations that were thrown his way. And it was pretty strong. Shortly after that, the FBI, well, first thing happened is he paid her $30 million to shut the hell up. And so she stopped talking about it publicly. Then Shortly after that, the FBI raided his home and said I think his Miami home, and they said, "Hey, we got some stuff we need to come pick up at your crib, dog." And they did, and they raided his home. And we to this day we don't really know what was taken, but I'm sure all of the information and all of the things that were snatched out of the house are being reviewed by the FBI as we speak. So that all went down. And then it went radio silent. It's been radio silent for a while until last week when a video suddenly was released by, I believe it was CNN first. And we're not going to show the video. If you ain't seen it, that's on you. Go see it for yourself. But a video was shown and began to circulate on the internets. And the video was of a Cassie going to an elevator, trying to look like she was leaving her room and going somewhere. We don't know where she was going. And then suddenly we see Diddy coming out in a towel, walking down the hallway with a very feverish pace. And as soon as he gets to Cassie, he snatches her by the back of her hair and tosses her to the ground. Then after he hits the ground, her stuff goes flying in the air that she was holding in her hand. He kicks her. Well, he starts to pick the stuff up first. Then he kicks her. Then he picks up some more stuff. Then he grabs her and shakes her. Kicks her again. Then grabs her and shakes her. And then picks her up. I don't know if he picked her up, but he like grabbed the back of her head or neck or whatever it was and drug her down the hall. And then you see him throwing her like a little even more. It is a very violent video. It is a very triggering video. And it revealed quite a lot about the man and the character of Sean Diddy Combs. Shortly after that, Saturday night Mama NOIZ, or was it Sunday? Sunday. It was Sunday. It was a Sunday morning confession. He got on his own Instagram account and said, "I'm a monster. I was in a bad, dark place, but I've been to rehab. And I've been working on myself, and I've asked God for forgiveness. But I'm not asking y'all for forgiveness, but I did ask God for forgiveness." And so that's where we are today. The world is outraged. Cameron don't want to talk about it, especially on CNN. Don't bring him on there to talk about that shit. That is not what he came on there to do. If you saw the Cameron video this morning, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't even know, really, honestly. There's so many layers to this that I'm not even sure where to even begin at, except maybe we'll start with the initial reactions. We got Mama NOIZ here. The great Al B is in the building. We got a lot to discuss. So I'm going to start, ladies first. Mama NOIZ, what were your initial thoughts when you saw the video and the apology?
I couldn't bear the apology.
You couldn't bear the apology?
No.
Interesting. Tell me why.
The same face that was on the video of the man who who violently I don't even have the words to match up with what he did. But for him to, it just seems like such a marketing ploy for him to show up on a Sunday morning and now he want to say, oh, all this other stuff. And it's like, no, sir, this has been going on for so long and no one has said anything. And this girl, I believe she's been trying to say something for the longest, but you know, everybody would side with him because of his flash and because of his fame and celebrity and money and all that stuff. And so I will tell you, it was very overwhelming. The video was overwhelming. Dare I say triggering. I told Mr. Noise earlier that I was going through I was watching a YouTube TV and they put it was a clip of TMZ that was, I guess they were talking about the video or whatever, but they had the video on loop where you're listening to them talk about it, and the whole time, like in the background, is the loop of the snatching of the hair, the loop of the stomping her, the loop of the, and I'm going, wow, have we just become so desensitized that they can sit there and have a conversation like nothing is going on, like this is no big deal? I'm like, I must say it was quite triggering. I only saw I couldn't even handle watching the whole thing.
Okay.
So it was overwhelming.
Wow. Al B, the great Al B in the building. Your thoughts?
What's up? First of all, what's up, fam? I will say that I was not able to watch more than about 10 seconds of that apology. Don't know if it was from a sincere place. Don't really care if it was from a sincere place. Where was that apology when he was adamantly denying her allegations back in 16 when this occurred?
No, it was last year.
No, I thought it was a while ago.
2016 is when the event happened. Is when he did what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I believe, she took out a sworn affidavit at that time.
Oh, did she? Wow. Well, I don't blame
I think
her.
so.
I don't blame her.
And the affidavit almost matches the events of the video.
Verbatim,
step by step, verbatim.
Wow.
So where was your apology then? Because you and your spin staff vehemently denied that it happened. I believe the case was settled.
Even then?
Yes.
Or just recently?
Yeah, I believe they gave her a settlement.
Yeah, they've given her $30 million.
Yeah. So
as if $30 million erases that moment.
Right. So I couldn't stomach much of it. As a fan, I would say I'm disgusted. As a man, I guess I would say I'm appalled. As a father of a female, a young lady, I'm angry. He himself is the father of several young ladies. So it's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. I know Cuz is in the building. He's probably trying to make sure he gets prettied up, and so I'm gonna give him a moment to do so. There he is.
Trying to get prettier. There ain't no hope. There ain't no hope.
Ain't no hope. Okay. Fair enough. Cuz I yield the floor to you, sir. Your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the apology. We're gonna open with that and then let the conversation take us wherever it takes us.
Thoughts on the video on
Diddy, yeah.
Is his real name Sean Combs?
Sean Combs, yeah.
That video was interesting. Looks like he was really going through something on that video. Looked like he'd been through.
He was in a dark place. That's what he said.
Looks like he'd been through something on that video. I'm used to seeing him all made up and looking like a dapper Don. He looked like he'd been through something on that video.
Allegedly, I don't know if y'all saw this, but there were rumors that she was robbing him, and that's why he did it. She was taking him for some money and some jewelry.
There ain't no reason for any man to whoop a woman's ass like that. There's no reason for it. So I don't accept the apology at all. It's not necessary for me to accept it or not, but I don't accept it. There is no excuse for a man to put his feet on a woman, let alone his hands on a woman. There is no excuse. I don't care what place you are, how dark that place is. You cannot stomp a woman.
Yeah.
No. And the way he stomped that woman, he's done that before.
Oh yeah.
That he never put his hand up to his mouth, he didn't look shocked that he did it himself. He wasn't taken back himself and say, oh fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. He wasn't shocked. He was in his rightful place. That's where he's been before. And because of that, I know what the Bible says forgive, but we don't know enough to forgive. He says that he was in a dark place and that he sought help. When did you seek help? You purchased a video in order to do what? To cover up what you did? So you've been knowing about this, and you've been hiding this, and you've been living as if this didn't happen. So how long have you been seeking this help, and how long have you been trying to reconcile with what you did? How many shelters and how many women have you tried to help that have gone through similar situations? What have you done to try to overcome?
Right.
And if you can't show that, then your words fall on deaf ear. You're full of shit.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know that woman's husband. I think he's supposed to be a pretty boy, but I don't know how a man could watch that video and you stomping my. She wasn't my woman back then, but I just don't know how you could sleep in the bed with that woman at night knowing a man stumped her ass like that. I just don't know,
brother.
You could rest easy.
We're gonna get to all that too. This is just the opening statements, but I don't know. I got some thoughts on that as well. But let me just jump in real quick, and then we can get span it back out. Buckle up, because here's where it gets a little tight. Shout out to the great Ryan Clark, who I am in lockstep with my statement. Here, now, and forever, in my humble opinion, Sean Combs, also known to the world as Puff Daddy, also known to the world as Diddy, is a bitch ass nigga. And y'all know I ain't real prime on that word, because I never thought that word was appropriate until I saw that video. Now I said, oh, that's what people mean when they say, oh, he's a little bitch. That's what he is. That's what that move was. That's what that action was. That's who he is from now until the end of time. You can apologize to a million ladies a million times. You can take out a billboard on Times Square and put Cassie, I'm sorry, on that billboard. And to me, just to me, maybe not to the rest of the world, but to me, Mr. NOIZ, you're a bitch ass nigga. There is nothing. Bro, Al, have you ever been to a fight? Have you ever been in a fight? I've also been in a fight. Mama knows you've been in a fight before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you've been in a fight, I'm assuming because you've been in a fight as well. I ain't never, in any fight that I've ever been, put my feet on somebody.
No.
And you felt it prudent to put your feet on a female that you are twice her size. Fam, you're a bitch ass nigga. Like, real talk. And I'm gonna say, and then, now let's get into some of the other meat of this thing. Some of your boys, some of the rappers, people that have been around. Cause see, you can't beat a woman like that in the shadows. Not as long as that beating. Cause see, I agree with you, cause that ain't the first time you hit that woman. That ain't the first time you hit her. That's the first time it was recorded in a hotel hallway. That might be the first time it was recorded in a hotel hallway. But that ain't the first time you hit her. The ease by which you comfortably hit her, the ease by which you kicked her, the ease by which you threw her to the ground. Nah, fam. You bitch ass nigga. Real talk. That's real talk. And I'm gonna be honest with you, cuz I'm gonna be real candid with everybody on the screen. What you said about that husband, I ain't talking about that man because I don't know that man at all. But if my woman had come to me and said that this man hit me like this, and then I go see a video like that, I got to see that dude. I got to see him. Whenever I see him, it don't even matter where we are. The Grammys, the Oscars, the Met Gala, on an island in Jamaica. I don't care where I see this dude. Right in that moment. I
don't know how you don't do that. I know you got to move on with your life. You got the pretty woman, and y'all living a life, a success. You got 2 kids. You don't want to ruin your life with the foolishness that would transpire. But I don't know how you let that thing go with the stumping that you see. That Negro deserve a stomping, y'all. I just don't know how you don't get that stomping back. I just don't know how you don't get it back, man.
I just feel like the retribution is Old Testament and not New Testament. Like, I understand forgiveness. I do understand forgiveness. I live by forgiveness. But this feels more like eye for an eye than forgiveness. After I whoop his ass, then we can forgive him. Because he's going to have a reason to forgive me. But, man, let me say something. But let me say this. There's a couple of things we got to address in this conversation. And one of them is everybody's anger toward the people who waited and they said had to see the video first in order to believe Cassie. So Mr. NOIZ is about to be even more candid tonight. And I'm gonna share this little story with you guys, because it's necessary to accentuate my point. I'll be brief. When I was 18 years old, I was a camp counselor. Me and a few other of my friends, we were camp counselors at-risk camp or camp for at-risk youth. Let me say it that way. And we were 18. The kids were like 9, 10, 11, 5th grade, 4th and 5th grade, basically. And they were in danger of being, going on the wrong track. Their grades were real bad. So this was the district's version of a summer camp. And so they brought them out to this, or summer school. So they brought them out to this camp in a trial situation to make it like summer school, allow them the opportunity to get their grades back up, get back on the right track, break some bad habits, and get life moving in the right direction. So we served as camp counselors out of Creek Park, Al, and did our thing out there. Well, myself and about 15 other counselors out there, we're all out there having a good time, trying to help the kids, grow the kids, but also have fun with the kids as well. And so one of the fun things we do is we play these little pranks or whatever. Nothing serious, like maybe they'd be sleeping, we'd stand them up in the cabin, and while they were sleeping, it was just little fun stuff like that. All approved, by the way, by administration and everything. It was all fun and games, part of the camp experience. Well, on the week, the kids would go home on Saturday, on Friday night rather, come back on Sunday. So in the time they went home, one of the kids went home and told her mom that we played the prank. The mom went and told the the ex-husband that some black dudes touched her between her legs. Well, it wasn't but two black dudes there, me and another dude. And my boss at the time, who loved us to death because he knew how good we were at our jobs, he came back and said, hey, man, we got a serious situation going on, and we got to address this. And I vehemently, obviously, denied everything that this little girl was saying. Hey, man, we didn't do that. Well, you know us. Mike, you know us. We would never do something like that. That's not right, man. Well, listen, we got to see it through. We got to meet with the parents. We're going to figure out what's going to go here. They want to meet with us first. So I said, hey, I want to be there, man, because I want to speak my piece. No, Lloyd, you don't need to go to the meeting. Let us figure it out first, and then I'll come back and get you that night. Well, thank God the little girl's story never matched up with the mother's story. So when they got them in the room together, the little girl couldn't tell the same story that the mom was trying to tell Mike. And it turns out the mom was trying to get leverage over the ex-husband in a divorce case. So she was trying to use us as the scapegoats to be able to say, see, the camp was my ex-husband's idea. See, he's not a good father. He's not a good parent. He didn't send my baby into this situation, blah, 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 blah. But if that little girl hadn't recanted her story, there'd be no NOIZ Media today. There'd be no Mama NOIZ. There'd be no My Life. Would be totally different right now. And thank God I had people in my corner that believed what I said versus what the little girl said. They knew that wasn't true. Plus, I had the proof because it wasn't just myself in there. It was 14 other counselors in there. We were all together. Now, I tell that story to say the story for what reason? Because that thing taught me several lessons. One, don't ever be around little kids under any circumstances by yourself, ever. Don't even play like that. Lesson learned there. Number two, be slow to convict. Because you don't know. If you weren't there and there's not released proof, you don't know. Now, should the alleged victim be believed? Here's what should happen. The alleged victim should be heard. But belief needs to come with a certain level of proof. It has to. Because once the allegation is made, no good can come out of the results. It doesn't matter. My innocence was very much strong and I was vindicated. But that marriage is destroyed forever. There's no coming back for that. There's no coming back for that marriage. They can't never be together again. Fam, you tried to use them black dudes against me in a court battle? This marriage it was already over. Now it's super over. The little girl looks crazy out here in these streets. There's no coming back from that. So once an allegation of that level is made, it's going to be difficult to put the pieces back together. So rather than lean to what the victim is saying, or even lean and say, no, there's no way that dude did that. There's no way he did that. Just wait. And there's nothing wrong with people saying, I want to hear more. I want to hear more. Cassie, I heard what you said, and I heard your account of the situation. And if that is what happened, I'm truly sorry for your situation. But I still would like to hear more. There's nothing wrong with that. So for all the people that have a problem with those of us who are like me, who say, I just want to hear a little more. It's not that I'm taking Diddy's side. I just want to hear more. Now that the facts have come out, okay, now I'm going to ride hard for Cassie over that bitch ass nigga. I thought that needed to be said. Because a lot of times we say, oh, they don't want to ride for the black woman. They don't ride for the black woman. And some of us, it had nothing to do with it. It's just we wanted to hear more. Especially if you've been through something like this, where you don't know, where you've been the victim. Man, I understand what it's like to sit in the hot seat, especially when you didn't do nothing to get there. Okay, I'm done with that part. But your thoughts, Mama Noise Al, because
I agree with just about everything you said. We should always pause before judgment. I think, even our judicial system says that you are innocent until proven guilty, but oftentimes most folks are found guilty when accusations are initially made, and that's unfortunate. Small to even mid number of cases proved to be false, but nevertheless, in this instance, he turned out to prove everything she said to be accurate. So, what other skeletons are there? What size is the graveyard that he dwells in? Because this obviously is not an anomaly. This isn't a one-time event, and I dare to say this is not a one-time or a one-person event. They were together for 10, 11 years.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
So how much had she endured over the course of those 10 years? That's right.
Mama Noise?
I'm sorry, I'm giving feedback or something. No. I struggle because when she came out with this, everybody was like, gold digger. She trying to trap him. She trying to get paid. Everybody says that. And it's so flippantly thrown around. And then when people really do encounter situations, instead of just saying, I'm going to go and I'm going to turn this person in, I imagine their minds are like, nobody will believe me unless I have evidence, unless I have tangible evidence. Will anybody believe me? And her saying, this is what this man did, and people saying, all I see is bad boy, all I see is billionaire, all I see is Sean Combs, all I see is all you see is that. You don't see that these people like him are in position to do things to people, and people ain't gonna say nothing. It's sort of like, I don't know which one of you said that. I know there is a boatload of people around him that saw all of this, that was like, I ain't not gonna be me that's gonna say nothing. Matter of fact, I saw a clip, I think it was some guy or whatever from Bad Boy that was like, when I signed my contract, I signed the NDA. Well, so now everybody's it overwhelms me at the thought of nobody believed this chick. Now they see the video. Now folks is like, it's like that? I had no idea. Not Bad Boy. Not
Yeah, I was just going to say criminal activity is not protected by a non-disclosure agreement. So,
but when you ignorant like that, right, in that area, nothing personally at the person, but I'm saying most of us don't know our legal rights about anything until somebody says, well, that's not legal, right? And you're like, it's not, because When they tell you, you're just like, okay, I'm signing the NDA. I feel so important. I'm signing this paper, and I got to keep a tight lip. You don't even know your rights, but you just say he told me that, and I take it for face value.
You're muted.
Andy Bruce says, unfortunately, many women have falsely accused men in the spotlight of things, and this makes this whole situation ugly. You know what's interesting about that statement? We about to get in the thick of it again. This isn't really a black problem. Here's what I mean by that. I don't see too many black women making false claims. A lot of white women. I don't hear a lot of black men, not black women. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, and I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that." But I mean, go back and look. The receipts are out there.
Well,
is there some stats?
Well, no. I'm like Mama NOIZ. I'm struggling because what society has bought into, and not at all a knock against what Al B said, because that's what we believe, and that is you are innocent until you're proven guilty. But what we have bought into is the protection of men in this instance. And because of that protection, so many women suffer. Yeah. And they don't have the ability to prove the negative that is happening to them. So they suffer in silence.
Black women or white women?
It's not about at all. It's not about race at all.
Okay.
It's about toxic male behavior that has the ability to abuse. You have an idiot that's running for president of the United States that has done it his entire life, and he is just as white as the day is long. You have the ability to abuse and use and without leaving a paper trail, or without leaving bruises, or without leaving damage. It's hard for her to prove it. So therefore, she keeps her mouth shut, because how do you go up against and how do you prove that negative? So they end up suffering in silence and feeling like an idiot. And the system will protect the offenders because she really can't prove it. And that's sad. Mm-hmm. Because there is an offense that can't be proven. Or it's difficult to approve, or it's difficult to prove. So has justice really been done? No.
Listen.
The other conversation that everybody's been asking about is that conversation that why didn't she leave? And as uncomfortable as that conversation is, it is worth a conversation. Well, Mr. NOIZ is telling all his business. He's acting like Cuz NOIZ tonight. Full disclosure.
Just get butt ass naked. Getting butt ass
naked tonight, I guess, is what we're doing. Full disclosure, my mother was, God rest her soul, was beaten by my father when I was a baby, when I was a little bitty baby. And I know this because my mother told me so. And she said 3 months after I was born, they got into it. He hit her. And I wouldn't be telling the story if she was alive, by the way. But but 3 months after I was born, he hit her again. She took me, fled in the middle of the night. She said he wasn't gonna hit her again. That was it. So when I think about leaving or a woman leaving, that is my reference point. Because my mom said to me, I wasn't gonna stay there and just keep getting hit on. So I put a plan together to get out and to get away. And so in my mind, and by the way, my reference point is probably completely unfair to all women. I recognize that. I recognize that going in. But that is my reference point. That is the experience of my life. So when I think about why didn't she leave, that's the first person that comes to my mind when I make the statement. So again, we as a society have to be patient with one another and not be so quick to, y'all need to leave that girl alone and she couldn't have left. You know what? I don't know her circumstances. I don't know her financial resources, and I don't know her self-esteem. So I don't know if she could or couldn't have left, because eventually she did leave. I'm saying to you, my mom left. Now, I don't know how many days it took for my mom, but she left. She got out. And I'm just saying and I bring these things up, and I know they're uncomfortable. But I bring them up because we have to actually be a little slower to convict others out there societally who maybe have a different experience than you've had. And all of this group thing to just crucify a person because they have a different opinion than yours, we gotta chill with that. Okay. Al, y'all mute Al. Your laptop is not working with you tonight.
My bad. I thought I had clicked on mute, but my understanding is that is exactly what she was doing, making an attempt to leave.
That's what it looked like in that video.
He had fallen asleep, and she had gathered up her things, and as she was exiting, he awoke, and she was only able to make it to the elevator. That's how, if you read the CNN timeline, that's how it's explained. So
okay, so that makes sense. So she was trying.
Yes, they had gotten into an argument prior. He had fallen asleep, what have you, and she was making an attempt to leave.
You know,
that to me is an ignorant conversation for anyone to have. Because you don't know the dynamics of how many times they've tried to leave and how many times he's hunted her and came and got her back, and how many times he's threatened her in the process. I mean, so many women have left and felt even more unsafe because they left, because he kept coming. So you just don't know the dynamics of relationships. So that to me is a fool's argument.
Right. What if any situation she ran to was far worse than the situation she was in?
Right. Exactly.
We don't know. So
you just don't know.
Well, and see, he was, you know, I think that he, I think he's a lot older than her, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he could have been threatening her that if you leave, something's gonna happen to your mama or your family or whatever, because he is who he is. And then, like I said, when you don't know your rights and you don't know that you could just, or you don't know if he's bluffing or whatever, then you take whatever threats or whatever he says for face value. I will speak from experience here, since we're being fully transparent, that
Everybody's getting naked tonight. Everybody's getting naked.
I was in college and I came home. I got a ride home from this guy because I didn't have a car, so he gave me a ride back to my hometown. And so he was like, you can just keep my car. I'm gonna drop me off over my friend's house and you can go over your, go over your people's or whatever. And I said, oh, thanks, I could just drive around. So my ex-boyfriend walked up to the car when I was at the stop sign and said, who, I guess this is your new man. And I was like, what? This is just a friend of mine. And that was all I remember. He reached in that window and he hit me so hard, I didn't remember where I was at. I lost temporary consciousness. And so I didn't know what had happened. I was truly,
I'm looking for his ass too.
I was truly dumbfounded. Literally, I didn't even know. I've got my foot on the brake. I'm at the wheel, the car's running, and he just reached in the window. And I don't know where people are spiritually, but I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't even think I had a relationship with God at that age, like my sophomore year of college. But I'm gonna tell you something. I heard a voice tell me to roll up my electric window. Use the power window to roll the window up. And that was the only thing that kept him from hitting me while I'm at the wheel. I whipped the wheel and ran over his feet. And then I went to the police station. By the time I got there, my eye was black. I tried to tell the policeman what had happened. And he wanted to know, did I want to have mediation? I said, what? I just told you that I was, what had happened to me. And all you can say is because I had been in a relationship with him is, do you want to sit down and have mediation?
Which is wild to me, by the way.
I'm like, why you ain't trying to go over there and so, but then my mind was like, oh my gosh, what if something happens to my grandmother? What if he does something, I'm thinking of all of that. So now I'm saying, do I really want to go and say something? Do I really want to stir it up? Do I really want to go get my cousin them? Do I really want to get this to be an all out brawl going here? Or do I just want to take my black eye and go back into the night as if nothing has happened? Because I don't want the smoke. And I don't want the smoke for my family because, I don't know. You don't know what people are capable of. That, if he got jealous of me driving somebody else's car and I ain't even with him, I don't know what he's capable of. So I'm just saying that she could have been in a place where she was like, look, I don't know what this dude will do. If he said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. You see what I did to so-and-so. You see what I did to blah, blah, blah. You don't try to leave me. I'm going to try to, it could have been a bunch of mind games, but to the point where it was so believable that she was like, I'm forced to stay here because I can't handle the repercussions.
Mama NOIZ. Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead.
In most of those abusive relationships, the mind game started way before the abuse started.
Mm-hmm.
So they already know what they can do before they ever start whooping on your ass anyway. So they've already tested the waters of your triggers and your buttons and what you fear and what you don't fear. So the mind game has already been played. So believe me, once he starts whooping on you, he knows what to bring up that you're fearful of, what you're scared of, and what you will and will not do.
That's the whole relationship between a pimp and a prostitute.
Exactly.
If you study that out,
exactly,
that it says that most pimps beat a prostitute.
That's the control.
And then run bathwater for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the play is to psychologically create a bond of connection that, yeah, I'm the guy that whooped you, but I'm also the guy that healed you.
Mm-hmm.
But now you don't know whether to love the broken part of you or the healed part of you.
Right.
Psychologists call it Stockholm syndrome, where you fall in love with your captor. And so that's the part where I have to, and that's why when some people are asking the question, why didn't she leave? We don't understand. We don't all understand the depth of the psychological part of this relationship. So I think we got to have grace for those who don't get it. It's not an ignorant question because some are stronger than others.
It's like what Lloyd said. As a woman, the first thing a man can say to us is nobody will believe us. If we don't have bruises, cuts, then it's our little word against. Now, you would say, on the other hand, well, it seemed like they always believed the woman. The woman will tend to, in this situation, she will tend to believe that if he says, ain't nobody gonna believe you, maybe they won't. Then what I'm gonna do? Then maybe he'll follow through on all those threats and stuff that he said he was gonna do. Diddy's a person of power, a person of influence, person with money, person who when you look at the documentary on his backstory of his father and all this stuff, who actually comes from a gangster lifestyle or whatever, his father or whatever, all of that stuff. Well, you see what happened to so-and-so, you see what, and then you just be like, I feel trapped. What are you going to do?
With that being also said, Mama Noise, I hope Cassie at some point in her life, maybe not now, maybe she's not at that place yet because it's all too fresh. But I hope at some point in her life, as Cuz would say, she gets to a place where she can also be butt ass naked with people. Because women need to know how to get out. And somehow she got out. And I think it would be beneficial to a lot of women to know how she got out. I wish my mom would have talked more about how she got out to other women, because you got to listen. If you out there and you're watching this tonight and you're going through something similar, let me tell you something. We want to hear you. Now we want to help you. And we understand that your journey might be hard. But that don't mean you're out here by yourself. You can try to get out if you can. You know what I mean? You got to try. And tell a coworker, try to tell a family member, tell a coworker, tell somebody that can help you. Now I'm wondering if, I'm hoping the people I just mentioned, church members, something like that, tell somebody, and I'm hoping that somebody will reciprocate the healing and the help that you need. But you got to try to get out. You got to try, because you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that at all. So
yeah.
What do you think happens next, fellas and lady? What do you guys think happens next in this situation? Does the dam break now? Well, first of all, I think we can all agree it's a wrap for Diddy, for Bad Boy. All that shit's over with. That's over. Ain't no coming back for Bad Boy. Ain't no. I just wonder how it's all gonna end. I guess is the real question. Like, is he gonna? Because I saw the LA County release that the statute of limitations of filing a criminal charge against him have far gone. So that's over. They can't do that. They can't bring up charges. So what can they do? What can be done Or how do you stop a guy like this?
Mr. Noise, if you can't charge him, it's not over. He will continue to be a success.
How will he be a success?
In this culture.
You think the culture will forgive him?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You saw the list of the ones that said that they gave his support. They support him.
I didn't see the list. I didn't see the list, Mama Noise.
Our society doesn't give a damn if you are a good person or not. They only care about your talent, your popularity, your success.
Mm.
We run to stars all the time just because they are stars. We don't give a damn if they are good people or not. Come on.
But R. Kelly's done.
Well, he was a molester though. He was
Is that
legally,
because he went to jail though? But see, I'm thinking
legally, right? He was legally liable.
Yeah, I'm thinking if Diddy has done something criminal, which the jury's still out on that.
Only if
then
he goes to jail.
A possibility it could be over.
Only if he goes to jail is it done. If he doesn't go to jail, he's not done. Our society will continue to reward him.
Well, then how do we look at people that do? How do we look at? Because let's go to the other side just for a second. Let's go to the other side just for a second. This is gonna be wildly uncomfortable, but whatever. We do that on this show. We have very nuanced and balanced conversations. Your friend is Diddy. Are you rocking with him anymore? Especially if you're a celebrity.
Well, I'm absolutely not. No. Not me.
Would you come out and say something?
But you knew the answer to that question.
Would you come out and say something though? Would you speak out on your friend? Would you say?
Oh, absolutely, I would.
Absolutely. Okay. Al, unmute Al. I apologize if y'all can hear that alarm in the background. It's a long story. I don't feel like getting into it.
Of course, because he and I are no longer friends. Even if we were friends, that certainly would end it because I place more value in my character and my dignity than I do any financial or social gain I can get from being in his inner circle or a part of his crew, his clique, so to speak. So, yes, the friendship is over. Yes, I speak out against it. So, absolutely.
But let me say this: the friendship is over only if he's to listen to sound advice. I'm not willing to throw anybody away unless they're not willing to listen to solid counseling. Let's talk. Let's be real.
That's number one. We got to talk.
Right. Let's talk. If you're willing to listen and heed the advice that's been given, then hey, I can ride with you. But now, if you are not willing to do that, then we can't. And
I'm just I don't want to say opposite, but I come from this angle. I want to see you reach out and seek help, and then you and I can talk. But until you make that initial effort, I'm through.
What if he reached out to you and said, Al, man, tell me what to do. I know I'm wrong.
I'm just Al. I'm just Al. You reaching out to the wrong person. I can't fix what's broken in you, bro. Because I don't understand what demons would cause you to act out like that. You need to find somebody that can help you understand those demons, and I'm not the one.
But if he sincerely reached out to you to walk with him and he sincerely wanted to change,
I'm going to walk your ass to somebody that can help you understand those demons. I'm not the one.
Right. And you know what? This was interesting.
And I don't mind facing saying, hey, I can't fix you. I can't help you. Yeah. I can direct you, like go this direction. That's all I can do.
You know what? I think where I would land on it is this. First things first, like Cuz said, we got to have a conversation. We got to have a conversation. And away from the cameras, away from everything and everybody. I'm like, fam, I just need to understand.
Right.
Now, based on what you tell me, because I'm gonna ask you some hard ass questions. Like, okay, if you know you did this, then why was you back in December talking about everybody scandalizing your name and all that shit? You know you got these demons in your closet. I don't understand. He gonna have to truly make me understand. Like truly make me understand. And so then after I get on the other side, because see, one thing I'm not gonna do in this moment, I'm not gonna ruin my character for your character. So if you out here doing reckless shit, I'm not going to join you and standing beside you if I can't say unequivocally, I think the man gets it now. And I ain't talking about one conversation. I'm talking about months and months and months and months. And I probably won't stand publicly with you ever again until you get way on the other side of it. Then once I'm convinced and you've demonstrated and you've shown some recompense, then maybe we can stand in the circles together and say, okay, I believe this man is trying to train. And here's the operative word. He's trying. Because nothing, here's the thing that we got to all understand. Nothing can undo what we've seen. Nothing. There's nothing he can do to undo what we've seen. Listen, Ray Rice, from what I've heard, they say Ray Rice is a completely different man. He is out there. Matter of fact, what I've heard from various sources, they say Ray Rice is the #1 advocate for women in domestic situations now. He has done a complete 180 from the guy that punched his girlfriend in that elevator and was captured in that hotel. But here's the other side of it. Nothing can undo that he punched his girlfriend and when the world witnessed it in that elevator. So before we get to any of his good works now, the first thing we're going to see when we see Ray Rice is the dude that punched his girlfriend and knocked her out in that elevator.
But here's the sad part of that, Louis. And until you just mentioned that, I forgot all about Ray Rice.
Yeah.
Same thing, unfortunately, is going to happen with Diddy.
Yeah.
But dare I say that even when I saw the I guess TMZ talking about the video, the first thing they brought up was Ray Rice.
Yeah.
I like you, Al. I was like, okay, I hadn't thought nothing about Ray Rice, but they like, y'all remember when Ray Rice? And it's like, man, talking about Scarlet Letter.
And honestly, when a guy has truly changed, that's the unfortunate part about what happened. Because think about, guess what, y'all? I don't know if y'all knew this or not. It's been 10 years since Ray Rice did that. It happened in 2014. It's been 10 years since that video was released.
So think about this. The event with Diddy and Miss Ventura happened just 2 years on the heels of that.
Oh, Ray Rice, yep.
So even in all the publicity of Ray Rice, he still chose that cowardly act.
Cuz, is there a path back for the guy for you? Is there a path back? You said not seeking counsel.
I would never say that a person is not redeemable. I believe that anyone can overcome their demons, and I wouldn't make anyone's demons about me. It's not about my character. Your demons will never affect my character. Me being seen with you and talking with you won't affect my character. My whole purpose for talking with you and trying to help you through your walk is so that you can be a blessing to somebody else on their walk. And that's the whole purpose for any of our struggles, really, so that we can use them in order to be a blessing. And if he can see that, then he can come back. When we make our struggles about us, that's when we continue to struggle.
Yeah.
So I have no I wouldn't dare say he couldn't come back. But even if he's not trying to make that kind of a change, even if he's full of shit, society's still going to reward him if he continues to put out good music and find good talent and be the star that he has been. He's still going to be rewarded.
I don't know, man. Cause
Come on,
I feel
man.
like I hear what you're saying.
How many people have been to prison and still came out and still rewarded?
Did Bill Cosby continue to be successful after all of these allegations?
Man, I don't know. It's
well, the only reason why Bill Cosby is where he is because of his age. He's well past his prime. That's not Diddy's story. It's not Diddy's story. Bill Cosby's an old ass man. So him making a comeback is really about age. It's like Joe Biden trying to make a comeback. Too damn late.
So, all right. We'll let's transition. I think we've Diddy'd out tonight. I want to give a shout out to the great Jasmine Crockett tonight. And also a rare shout out to the internet, because these beach blonde butch built body remixes have been quite entertaining. So but for those who don't know what happened, Marjorie Green Taylor and Jasmine Crockett, Taylor Green, I always mess it up, MTG, not GT, got into an argument on the Congress room floor during a committee meeting, and Marjorie tried to say, maybe you can hear me better if you didn't have on your fake lashes.
Maybe you can read better.
You can read it better if you don't have on your fake lashes. To which Alexis Ocasio-Cortez, did I get that right? AOC said, "Ma'am, you are out of order." And she stood up for her homie Jasmine Crockett and said, "You are out of order. And I want those statements stricken from the record, and she needs to apologize." To which Marjorie said, "Well, I will strike it from the record, but I'm not going to apologize." Then Jasmine said, "Bet." So she said, "Mr. Chairman, point of order." Now, let's start right there. Anytime a black woman starts with point of order in a professional setting, she's coming for your ass. And so she said, point of order. So if I were to say, per se, if I was to say on this floor, look at you with your bleach blonde, butch built body, would that be a question? That wouldn't be questioning quality or questioning her quality. That would not be talking about. She said it in a very much more professional way than I'm saying it now. But she said that wouldn't be talking about the woman, right? Let me tell you something. That's one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
The irony is that immediately after that, Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "I want those remarks stricken from the record."
Right.
Like, ma'am,
that's what you want.
Here 10 minutes ago when you started this nonsense.
Right. But my question to you, great panel, first of all, I'm still trying to understand, were there any black men in the room? I'm just curious. There were some black men in the room, Al.
At least one. I forget his name, what state he's from, but he's had a bunch of verbal altercations with what's the clown from down in Gates?
Okay.
Yeah, he and Gates have clashed verbally several times as well.
But he didn't say anything in this situation.
He did, but AOC
Too
was
much confusion.
loud. AOC was louder than he was, but you can
Gotcha.
hear him.
Okay.
In the background. So,
because that was the question that came up: where were the black men? Why ain't black men defending her? And honestly, I haven't seen a lot of black men online defending her, Jasmine Crockett, which is interesting. So do white women feel like they can do this because black men ain't gonna say nothing?
I think it's unfortunately because of the leadership we had nearly 8 years ago that people feel empowered to say things in any atmosphere. It saddens me that our politicians have stooped to this level. One thing we used to pride ourselves on is having decorum. We could debate, disagree, but it wasn't tasteless like it is now.
Right.
And there's been instances, but now it just seems like every day they're unable to get anything conquered in that particular committee because of constant bantering such as this. And that is a sad state. And it's so unfortunate. Like we always say, you always say on this show, precedent has been set, and this is going to carry on for years and years and years to come.
By the way, a lot of people try to say this is a result of the Trump administration. It is not. It has escalated during the Trump as a result of the Trump administration. But this is part of what President Obama went through as well. It's been going on for quite some time, this foolishness. But cuz, I love to hear your thoughts, sir. You and Mama Noah.
You are correct that this decline in form has been going on for some time. But I would say it definitely has escalated under Trump,
right?
In part because of the mega movement that gets their talking points from
Can I pause you just before you get rolling, just to say this? I'm still going to attribute this to Donald Trump because during Obama, the birthism and all that crap, and we had never witnessed somebody stand up in the middle of a State of the Union address and call the President of the United States a liar.
Liar, right.
I'm sorry. Right. Thank you, Plus, for yielding. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but don't do that shit no more.
I definitely won't make that a habit because you from Mississippi. I understand.
I'm right.
Oh,
what? The problem is so many of them get their talking points from talk radio, and their focus is not to govern. They're not interested in compromising and working together in the House of Representatives. Compromise is a dirty word. Negotiation is a dirty word. In fact, being a moderate Republican is a dirty word. So they're not interested in governing. All they want to do is blow the whole thing up. So whatever they can say in order to throw any committee or any meeting off, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be as bombastic and childish and unprofessional as they need to be in order to blow it all up. In order to prove that it's Washington, D.C. and it's not working, and you need more of us in order to make it work. because this ugly split that you have, this basically 50-50 split that you have, will not work. And that is true. Currently, the 50-50 split will not work because of people like that. So you are correct, Albie. Donald Trump with the birtherism, the decline started there, um, and the Tea Party, the decline started there, and it's only gotten worse. And a large portion of it is based on racism, and that's sad.
You know
And
the
he has
irony of
okay to be those racists.
yeah. You know the irony of this whole situation is that here are two women fighting on the floor of Congress, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, or Green Taylor, whatever she is standing up for Donald Trump, and he don't give two shits about her. I promise you, if she ever did anything to cross him, he'd throw her under the bus like he do everybody else. You know, it's funny how people think they're a part of the club, and they really ain't a part of the club, and they don't even know it.
Well, he only cares about her because she's able to deliver votes for him. That's the only reason why.
That's the only reason.
Right.
But he don't care nothing about her.
Right.
She's just another strumpet that he would treat like trash if he had the opportunity.
She's another hick from the South.
Yeah.
And
what's crazy about it is to see people who are irrelevant to him aligning themselves with him for what can be gained. It is a fascinating exercise in futility.
Well, it's all about power.
But she ain't got no power. She has no power.
Well, she does.
No, she doesn't.
Well,
she has power in that district.
Power is negotiated in Washington, and they actually negotiated power when they convinced that foolish as Speaker of the House to allow them to be able to throw his ass out with just one representative saying that they are willing to bring his ass up for a vote to oust his ass.
Yeah.
So that alone has given her and any other representative power. So now he has to kiss all of their asses because any of them can oust him or bring him up for that vote in order to be ousted. So those that normally wouldn't have power now have power.
Well,
they got power, man. That's why she had those 2 days of meetings with him for all those hours because she got power.
Well, it's not her power though. It's power, but it ain't her power. It's his power, and he's lending her. Is lending. Trump is lending his power to her, because he listen. Whether we want to believe it or not, there is a possibility that he can win again. Now, I think at some point this year, moderates and liberals will once again unite and wake up and say, whoa, it's getting a little close. Let's get up there and vote and do our thing or whatever. But still, he still has the influence over enough to help her and get the leverage she needs. So I understand what you're saying. But I'm glad we have people like Jasmine Crockett in the office who are not having it, who are going to stand up and say what needs to be said, who are not afraid to stand up and say what needs to be said. Sometimes I think the Democratic Party is a little soft. Sometimes it's like, I ain't saying we got to go. I understand what Michelle Obama's saying, when they go low, we go high. But when we go high, we also have to go strategic. And we got to be smart about how we approach and attack back and say what we need to say. We can't just let folks say whatever they want to say, however they want to say it, and do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. I think that's important for us to be bold in our response. That's the thing that I liked about Jasmine Crockett's response. It was bold, and it was as bold, and it was classy. She just said what she said and left it there. And so I think we gotta be, as bold as Democrats as the enemy is around us. So that's just my thoughts on it.
Mr. NOIZ, I would say this. I'm proud of what Jasmine Crockett said. As a black man, I stand with Jasmine Crockett from Dallas, Texas. But I would have done it differently, to be honest with you.
Would you? What would you have done?
I think we are giving too much power to the foolishness of those that would say ignorant shit. And because she takes pleasure in being that ignorant ass.
Yes. That's
no different than the I almost said, oh shit. That's no different than the white guy in Florida that called me that nigga when I was at the gas station there in Pinellas Park, Florida. He was barefooted, no shirt on, head was greasy, and they're buying him some cigarettes. Living in a trailer park next to the gas station. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was that kind of a person, but he felt it necessary to call me a nigga. Now, I could have allowed that person, I got some other words I could call him.
Right.
I could have allowed that person to get a rise out of me, but I didn't. We got to stop giving power to those that are ignorant. Now, I know this is a different setting. This is Congress. She has a microphone. Cameras are on. I get it. But she takes great pleasure in being that buffoon.
Very much.
And we are responding to that buffoon. Giving that buffoon more airtime.
What would you have done? Would you have just gotten up and walked out?
No. I just would have basically told her, you sound as ignorant as you are, and kept it moving.
Yeah.
And instead of going, I want to withdraw and I want to pull it down and hold, lady, you can't do that. Because she sat back and she almost had a grin on her face. She was pleased with what she had said because she got a rise out of it.
Right.
We got to stop giving them that power over us. You're just an old. I ain't gonna say the word I want.
Hence her response to AOC. Yeah. Are you offended? Are you offended?
There you go, Albie. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about right there. They take pride in offending us. No, bitch.
Couldn't reel that one in.
Yeah, it is. Let me see. Now you said you would have done something different, but look here. Look what just happened. I understand.
No, I get angry at us getting upset about them. We got to stop giving them that power.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think in the moment that's easier said than done. It is. Because you're trying to embarrass me on national TV.
I don't disagree.
And so I feel like I need to respond on national TV. Now, what I would have liked, that's why I liked what she said, because the way she prefaced it, she said, I just want clarification. I'm not going to attack you like you attacked me, but I'm going to make an example out of you so the world can see. And we've gotten way more mileage out of beach blonde butch body than we have out of fake lashes. So the difference is you're trending. You've been 3 or 4 different remixes. So who won? So I think in the end,
maybe, I think maybe amongst it's different medias though, Mr. Noise. Maybe amongst us we won.
That's true.
I think maybe amongst them still she got her airtime. She
For
called
sure,
them out.
For sure.
Yeah.
So okay, we will digress to our last topic of the night, and I'm going to go to this one because this one hit personally at home for me because I am a former teacher. I know y'all saw the black guy who said because of scheduling and the busy schedule he had at school and all stuff he had to do or whatever, he couldn't take his braids down and make his hair appointment. So he had the little black girls in the class surrounding his desk, helping him take his braids down in his hair. So the district was like, hey man, you are way out of line with that. And did they initially fire him or they
Yeah,
I think they initially fired him. And then he went back on the Twitters or the Instagram and doubled down and said, we got to find a way to connect with our black girls. And do you understand? I didn't mean nothing by it. And this, that, and the other. I want to hear what y'all got to say first, then I'll respond. But
I think, and I think that there was absolutely nothing wrong with what took place, other than the fact that this type of behavior is exactly why, or part of the reason why, our kids have a level of disrespect, because there's no more boundaries in the classroom. The level of professionalism no longer exists. These students are becoming their friends, their comrades, and I think that is the problem. Should he have been fired? No. Should he have been reprimanded? Absolutely. Should he have to go through some retraining? Absolutely. But he is not the only one. It's widespread. I remember when we were in school, you could identify students from teachers,
right,
staff.
Right.
You can't do that anymore. Everybody's got on Crocs and jeans and tight shirts. There's no level of professionalism, and the respect levels likewise have deteriorated. And this is an example of that. Somebody said, well, if it was young boys unbraiding the girls, a female teachers, it wouldn't have been a problem. In my eyes, it would have been the same problem. There's levels that you don't cross with these students.
But you don't think he should have been fired?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
I don't think it was a fireable offense because I simply think it's a matter of crossing professionalism or student-teacher boundaries. Other than that, I don't think anything else occurred.
Okay.
It's just like my daughter has a teacher now. I won't say his name, but he likes to play the dozens with his students. But he's in a position of power, so when they get the best of him, the tables turn and he gets an attitude. And so I told my daughter, I said, well, I blame you because you shouldn't be having that type of interaction with him. I don't care what he does. I've taught you better. There's levels of respect. That man is an adult. You treat him as such.
Okay. Mama Noise, cuz, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with Al. I agree with Al. I feel like that I had a situation. I've never let any of them do my hair. But I have had a situation where, like, the little girls have situations. And then they look to us for help. But see, I've always been a strong advocate for the boundary. I don't need you helping me with nothing. I'm good. But then one time a little girl came running into our classroom crying, and I was like, you know, what's going on? And she said that somebody pulled her ponytail out on the playground. Well, you know, she's all upset. So now here we are trying to fix the ponytail, trying to put it back. Now I could have said, young lady, we gonna call your mama. She need to come here and fix this ponytail because she the one put it in your head. But you know, we was like, okay, we try to help her because the situation was, you know, you talking about the dozens, they really gonna get her because of this ponytail missing or whatever. So we try to help them, to me, almost like a parent would. But the part where I don't need you to be my parent, if you need me to be, you know, not step in as the parent, if you will, but to try to, you know, as a person in leadership, to try to assist you and making sure that your school experience is a positive one. We do what we can. We, you know, I ran out of pads. Let me direct you to the nurse. You know, we do what we can to help the students. But I do think that the doing the hair thing, I think that was excessive, and I think that was too far. But then it also falls on the shoulders of, you know, these young teachers are not getting that. They used to have the older teachers that would kind of take them under their wing and say, okay, now what you want to do is, and then, you know, make sure you set your perimeters here to make sure that they understand that, you know, this is what we do. This is what, you know, don't let them be, you know, like, but see, everybody, like you said, is trying to be so super cool and thinking that that's going to get them teacher of the year because you letting them call you by your first name. Just call me Joanne or whatever. And you're going, that ain't gonna help them to respect you more because you done let all your guards down.
It's all good for him because they respect him, but he's the only one in the whole damn building that gets respect. Now, what benefit is that to the school environment? Zero.
Right.
Okay. Cuz y'all got me thinking about some stuff too. Let me just say that.
Let me make sure I understand the story. A teacher.
Yep.
A black man.
A black man had braids in his head, right?
Yep.
And he had girls in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, look like about 3 or 4 of them.
And they were taking down his hair?
Yes.
At school.
So he could be ready for his hair appointment.
He was sitting at his desk.
During class time.
Yes.
Taking his braids out.
Yeah. So he can make his appointment.
Whew. Okay, so when I was a kid, I had this teacher that I just absolutely adored. I just loved. She was not a young teacher. The young teacher that I had a liking for, who was fine as wine, had just finished up at Jackson State. That ain't the one I'm talking about. The one, my favorite teacher of all times was Mrs. Cotton. Mrs. Cotton was a older lady, but she was a lady. She was a lady. She was a lady. She was a prim and proper lady. And Miss Cotton used to invite me over to her house on the weekends to do yard work. I was a student, and I would go over to her house and I would rake leaves and cut the grass and do yard work over Miss Cotton's house. Miss Cotton had a husband and kids, but
now wait a minute.
Invite me over to her house to do yard work. And that was never
doing yard work, Mama Noise.
What?
That was,
He's doing yard work.
No, what was she trying to set you up like Miss Parker? I mean, what kind of situation was that?
Never anything strange going on. It was just she would pay me to do yard work at her house. But Miss Cotton knew that I absolutely loved her. She was a lady that loved her students as a black woman in Jackson, Mississippi. She wanted the best.
Oh, she was black.
Oh, she was black. Yeah. She wanted the best for us, and we were at a school that was primarily a white school at first, and she wanted us black students to do well, and so she didn't just teach the curriculum. She wanted to train us young men to be young men and young ladies to be young ladies, and she wouldn't allow us to chew gum, and she wouldn't allow us to do this and do it. She just wanted us to be good black people. Mm-hmm. And she used to take to me because, you know, I was a good black Negro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Mama Noise, don't do that. So that may have been out of line for her to be inviting me over to her house over on the weekends. By today's standards, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But a Negro having girls playing in his head. To me is that's too much. That's too much. Y'all know how when somebody get in your head, how that makes you feel. Mama Noise, you know I'm talking about, Mama Noise.
I beg your pardon.
You know when somebody go to play in your head, how you just close your eyes.
That's why I don't let nobody just play in my head.
Oh no, you ain't gotta roll your neck like that when you say that. Now you understand?
Because I meant every bit of that.
I know what folks go to doing your hair. I mean, you get real relaxed, real comfortable because it feels good.
Nah, I'm gonna rubbing all in my head. No, sir.
Mama knows you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand your point.
It feels good. So to have these girls up in there playing in your head in class was way too far. I'll be. You say that's not a fire fence. I'll be that Negro was grooming them girls.
Oh my gosh!
He was getting them girls. He was getting them girls ready. You say
he's grooming the girls?
Come on, man. You don't have girls.
Wow.
That was a personal service. That was personal. That was
personal service.
Mama, no, that wasn't for yard work. That was personal service. They might have been doing his toenails. I mean, shit.
Al, let me ask you a question. You said it's not a fireable offense. If it had just been one girl, how would you feel about that?
In the same setting, I'd feel the same way.
Feel the same way. Okay.
That's right.
If that young girl was sitting on the porch of his house, undoing his hair, different. Now I fully understand that could be, and if that was his intent, I can see that. I can see that being a grooming situation. Yeah, because that's how it happens. That's how it starts.
That's right.
Yeah, I can see that.
So let me go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but I didn't take from what I gathered that it was that far along.
Now, are you saying gathering from the story and what he said?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because here's what I'm gonna say. And I mean no disrespect to the young man, but I do mean what I'm about to say. I don't believe shit he said. Not one word. And here's why. Bro, for you to be that blind, you're either unqualified for this position or you're up to something. And I don't think there's a gray area. I really don't. And I'm saying that with my 25 years of teaching experience. You cannot be. There's no way as a teacher you thought for any second in your life that was a smart idea to have 4 little girls surrounding you, touching you in your damn head. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. So as a teacher first, if I would have walked in and saw my coworker doing that shit, I'd have pulled him to the side and said, fam, have you lost your fucking mind?
I guarantee you he's unqualified.
You are not, bruh. You need to quit this job tomorrow. Because he is so lucky that those were 4 black girls and not 4 white girls in the suburbs. Because they not only would have fired his ass, they'd have pressed charges on him. He'd be in jail right now. That is so wildly inappropriate. Let me tell you something. When I saw it and I thought about now I'm gonna speak from the parent perspective. When I saw it and I said, oh my God, if that had been my child. Al, I'm with you in the first part. I'm gonna have to sit her down and say, I know I've taught you better than that. To be playing in your teacher's hair, I know I've taught you better than that.
Time to raise your prices. See, here's the thing. Whenever you're getting...
I'm just saying, let's start with that. But then secondly, nigga, have you lost your mind? Al, I think you feel differently if it was your baby. And this thing got your baby on social media untwisting his hair like it's okay. I think you might feel a little different. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that you got my baby on social media undoing it. Y'all that familiar with each other? Y'all know each other that well? To where you
because they sure enough gonna feel a special bond with you after doing that. So you taking them right along.
I got news for everybody that's watching this show tonight and watching it on the rewatch. He can never discipline those students again. Never.
Nope.
He's lost all of that credibility. Because, bro, I did your hair. We buddies. You the homie now.
Yep.
Just like you said, Al, your story was perfect. Once we start talking about each other and we shooting the dozens and all that stuff, yeah, the teacher-student bond is over with. You the homie now. Yeah. And once you're the homie, that's a whole. But why are you the homie? Are you trying to lower my defenses so anything goes? I ain't feeling that, bro. That
exactly.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. That got me. When I saw that, as soon as I saw that video, I was like, this thing is crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that profession is just like every other. They getting rushed out of the assembly line so quick. They're not getting all the parts and things that they need to bode well in the professions that they're going into.
And Al, you said something that was really powerful, and I've been out of the profession for quite some time now, and away from the classroom for quite some time now. So I don't know what the atmosphere of the culture is. So if you tell me, because you're right there, so if you tell me that's the norm now, that but I do believe that it is kind of norm, because my children ran into a couple of teachers that were trying to be their buddies and be the class friend and all that stuff, and we had to check them on that. I said, my child don't need you as a friend.
Lloyd, I pull up to some of these high schools, and from the dress alone, not hearing conversation, not just the dress alone, I can't tell who's administration assisting with loading and unloading and who is students.
Wow.
At these high schools. And so, and some of that is because some of these teachers are now, 22, 23, 21.
College though, that's coming out of college, y'all.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that doesn't necessarily mean
but
that
when I was in school, I didn't have teachers 22, 23 years old in front of me.
I did.
No, we had them ancient teachers.
I never experienced that.
Yeah.
The only ones we had that were 21, 22 like that was substitutes.
The one that was fine, Jackson State, boy. Shoo.
Yeah, I never experienced that. Like Lloyd said, well, back in the 80s, 90s, there wasn't this enormous amount of vacancies that needed to be filled.
Right.
Oh man, and them lowering the standards.
That's also true, Mama Noise. That is also true.
Didn't nobody want to go to Louisville and teach? I mean, didn't nobody
Wait,
want to
no,
go?
wait a minute. In Texas, you used to have to go through so many hoops in order to become a teacher.
You had to jump through a lot of
They
hoops
done
to get to a
changed
classroom.
that because they like, look, we ain't gonna have no teachers if they got to go through all that. Now they looking for even the paraprofessionals. Don't you want to go ahead and be full time?
They be
Don't
like,
you wanna
hey,
be
come.
a full-time teacher?
Now they done got to a place where it's like, just come work. We'll work out the rest later.
Fact.
We'll figure out a way to make your experiences total up the years.
Right.
that you
We'll
need.
figure it all out later. Yeah.
That's right.
They just need bodies now. They just need bodies.
That's because you have so many other professions now. It used to be, you didn't have that many professions. You got so many professions competing with teachers.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to school to be a teacher anymore.
Not really.
And you know.
Well, I know that there are plenty of other professions.
A lot more.
But I'm saying a lot of the reason is because of the type of stuff that nowadays, it's a whole lot of stuff now that as a teacher, it's hard. It's harder and harder. Parents is trying to expect you to do the whole 9 yards because you keep kids for 8 hours in a day. You saying, okay, look, this is, I'm just a teacher. Yeah, well, this child belongs to you from 8 to, 8 hours. So work it out. You saying, look, there's a problem with your child. That's your problem because you the teacher. And you saying, parents be trying their best not to be involved. You saying you look at Facebook and you see the prom, people putting prom $13,000 to have a stellar prom, but then they won't invest in coming to the school and sitting down and talk to the teacher to figure out why your child is a fool 8 hours a day. And then when you come to the teachers meeting, you I just can't believe he would do that. Yes, you do. You know your child.
I saw a TikTok or reel or something real quick. Young man had passed 3 classes in 4 years.
Wow.
And they put him back in 9th grade. And the mama filed a suit against the school district, said they failed her son. And in part they did. But where were you? They think they have no responsibility.
That's correct.
And so, again,
I don't have to be involved. I dropped them off. I made sure they came to school with clean clothes on and made sure that they came to school fed. That's all I'm supposed to do.
I bet you he was dripped in wardrobe. I bet you his kicks ain't got no creases in the toes. I bet you he was fly, but that little son bitch only passed 3 classes in 4 years.
It's raw tonight. It's raw dog tonight. I want to ask a question about the teacher just real quick. Was that a hood school?
I don't know. I've never seen the video.
That was one thing I didn't know.
Yeah, I've never seen the video. I just heard murmuring about it, saw posts where people were asking questions. Should he have been fired? What if it was this?
Yeah,
I've never seen the video, never really knew that he was black, they were black. I just heard the story.
Yeah. I never got the name of the school or the location in the city that they were in. So I didn't know if it was a hood school. And the reason why I bring that point to it, because the firing suggests that it wasn't.
It's probably the same school that wouldn't let that boy graduate because he had braids.
Well, what I'm saying is, Mama Noise, the quickness of the firing, because he was fired within a day, I think, of the video releasing. Like it didn't take them long to fire him at all.
Listen,
and so
I don't know what school wouldn't fire, man. You got kids, you got a teacher, got kids personally grooming him.
Sometimes our hood schools, because of the deficit of what the school is experiencing. Huh?
I don't know what district would put up with that. A teacher allowing kids to groom him.
I agree. Listen, I agree. You and I are on the same page, but I do know some of our hood schools because of the deficit that they're experiencing at the position anyway.
Oh,
they would kind of, they might suspend him or they reprimand him, but they may not fire him.
He said, I firmly believe that I was attacked, and let me add this in here, mainly attacked by my own community. I was mainly attacked by my own community for the most part. Anyway, I firmly believe that I was attacked because I am a young, handsome black man.
Lies and propaganda.
So that tells me that you had ulterior motives.
There you go. There you go.
Why are you, what the hell does you being handsome have to do with any of this shit?
You feeling yourself. You feeling yourself.
Yeah, they did the right thing by firing your dumb ass.
Oh,
They
yeah.
absolutely did the right thing.
Prince George, that's in Maryland, ain't it?
Yeah.
That is in Maryland. So that's
he
the hood.
teaches at Prince
That's
George
the hood.
schools.
Yeah, that's a hood school. That's a hood school. Okay. Yeah, they did the right thing by firing your stupid ass. Absolutely. I'm handsome. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. Well,
There you go, cuz.
He told himself that he was handsome.
And that's why he had them girls up there playing with him.
Because ain't no older.
I'm telling you what he was doing.
Let me tell you something. This is real talk. If I'd have picked my baby up and I said, "Hey, baby, what you been doing today?" "Oh, nothing. Just we was taking down Mr. Such and Such's hair in the class today." I say, "Oh, for real?" I'd have parked that car. I'd have parked that car immediately and walked into that school to find that nigga. I promise you. You have lost your fucking mind.
No
Catch
way.
me outside.
No, I wouldn't have called him outside. I'd have called him inside.
Ain't no way.
They'd had to call security.
Ain't no way.
And unless that was a cosmetology school, he should have been reprimanded anyway for wasting valuable lesson time.
No doubt.
I know y'all got shit that y'all supposed to be doing other than this. I know you do.
We probably did last in the state, so we could have been working on math, science, other areas.
I'm just saying. All right.
That's why none of the asses know how to write in cursive now.
Right.
That part.
Okay. We're gonna close out with some fun stuff. We don't want to just be all dark today. What y'all think about Caitlyn? I'm gonna ask y'all. I got 2 questions left. What y'all think about Caitlyn so far? Caitlyn Clark. You know, Jeff Teague, the basketball player, said Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA is playing this all wrong. They said they should be letting her win some of these games because she's driving up the revenue. So they gotta let her win some stuff.
No, they setting her up for the comeback.
And well, some of the WNBA girls, I just happened to ask a couple of them. And I said, "Well, what do y'all think about Jeff's comments? Do y'all think I should let her win?" And they sent me a response.
But here's the thing: there's a reason the Indiana Fever had the #1 pick.
Right.
They were the worst team in the WNBA.
Right, they're not very good. Yeah.
Ain't gonna fix that. So
right. And by the way, I don't think Caitlyn would want that. She want to earn her shit like everybody else. She don't want this handed to her. So Jeff, you gotta stop, brother.
Just like she earned that screen from Breonna Stewart.
Oh man, Breonna Stewart set a screen for the
Conscience.
Breonna Stewart gave her a welcome to the league screen. Like,
so yeah, it's just growing pains, bro. It's just growing pains.
Our final question, I'm stealing from Cuz NOIZ, which I thought was fantastic. Cuz called me, not in a panicky way, but in a I gotta confirm way. So, Cuz, please, if you don't mind, if I'll share the question. You don't mind if I share the question to you? Okay. Al B, Mama NOIZ. Cuz asked me a question. He said, "Who would you take? Gospel music. Richard Smallwood."
Oh, NOIZ don't know.
She might know. I think she knows some of Richard Smallwood stuff. Richard
Black man.
Smallwood versus Walter Hawkins.
Al B, who you got?
Boy, you better be glad I ain't got a cream pie.
Walter Hawkins.
Whoa! Over Richard Smallwood?
Look at that.
Oh, you gotta explain that, bro.
I just Richard Smallwood, in my opinion, was a little too traditional, and I love traditional.
Okay.
And I think Walter Hawkins kind of pushed the envelope a little more, stretched the boundaries of gospel music.
Really? Wow. Now, are you talking about Walter Hawkins?
He did for that time. He is correct. He did for that
No,
time.
he's 100% correct. He's 100% correct. Are you talking about Walter Hawkins by himself or Walter Hawkins and the Hawkins family?
Well, I mean, he did by himself, but it was more so the Hawkins family, but he did as well by himself.
Okay. That's listen. I can't argue with that point. That's a solid point because Walter Hawkins, I mean, for what they did at that time, they definitely pushed the boundaries. So I can't. And by the way, more than people realize, because that church really was the first church nationally that they didn't say it, but they lived it. They lived that LGBTQ out loud and still love Jesus. They did. Let's be honest. They did. They lived it out loud and unapologetically. So I'm just saying. Mama Noise, what you think?
I don't know what people you talking about.
You don't know. Yeah.
Mama Noise. You gotta fake it till you make it.
Oh, you want me to lie?
Yeah, maybe. Not lie, but I mean, I'm just saying, Mama Noise.
No, there's no other way to put that, sir.
You're right, Mama Noise. You're right.
You said, Mama Noise, quick for $1 million. Give me one song.
I was gonna give you a couple of songs and see if you could know.
Listen, and you just said quick, Mama Noise. In order for us to win this $1 million, I need you to name one song that Richard Smallwood wrote. I will not be.
And you can do it. You don't know that you can do it, right? But you can do it.
Total praise.
Total praise. That's the.
I didn't know that.
What's
And then you say, Mama Noise. What about the Hawkins dude?
You're the center
of my joy. That's Richard Smallwood.
You know what? Y'all Negro show do like to show off.
All that's good and perfect
comes from you. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you for that. Thanks.
So you know some of the songs, you just don't know that you know them.
Kyrie, where you at?
He out there. Shout out to Kyrie who came out, who hit me up earlier. You know Walter Hawkins songs. Going Up Yonder. Be Grateful. Thank You, Lord.
Lord. I said if they'd have asked me to name the song.
I know, Mama Noise.
It wouldn't have done me no good to be trying to sing some of the lyrics and not be able to know the name of the song.
You're right.
I'm just saying.
So Al, I picked Richard Smallwood, but I think I did it because first of all, he's a musician. Like musicians are in awe of Richard Smallwood. Like Total Praise, the brilliance of that song. Angels, which I think maybe his most brilliant song that he's ever written. Just the progressions in that song, the chord progressions in that song are just insane. He's just so brilliant. He's just a brilliant writer and songwriter. Now he's a flaming hot Cheeto, but
oh my God, yeah.
But they all were.
They all were. So I can't even hold that against them.
Thanks.
I can't even hold that against them.
Come to find out, yes, they were. So
yeah, we find out a lot of them were. But the man was brilliant. He was brilliant. So I can't even. I gotta.
God, how old is he? What, 70-ish?
He's on up there.
Richard Smallwood.
He's older than that.
He gotta be. Oh, he's 75.
75.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely brilliant man. But that's why I picked Richard Smallwood. Not to take anything away. Now, who has the more iconic songs?
Oh my God!
Oh,
ain't it time to go?
That's just the story.
I think it's still tough.
That's what I was gonna say. That's just as tough. That's
Yeah,
just
man. When we come back later on in the fall, we may have to do a Richard Smallwood versus Walter Hawkins, our own little gospel off or something. We working on some stuff. We got one more show in this alliteration of where we are right now, and then we're gonna take a summer break after next Tuesday. And we hopefully got some surprises coming for everybody. But I just thought that's a great topic that Cuz brought to it, because I was thinking about it when all day I've been thinking about it. Like, man, they both got like, that'd be a versus I'd want to go to, because it just would be good. The music is so good. Now again,
When I'm dead.
Well, you can still play his music. He
Well,
can't
that's
be
true.
there. He can't be there, but you can still play his music.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I also like you, Lord. I would take Smallwood.
Yeah.
That music to me, it was a praise music.
Yeah.
Now I love a good choir music. From Walter Hawkins, and there was nothing like it. That was the church music that we was raised on.
No question.
But as far as what was the guy out of Detroit? The big fat guy out of Detroit. Wow. Come on, y'all. Gospel guys.
This escalated quickly.
Detroit, the big fat guy. He's dead and gone. Come on now. Come on. Y'all know him? Detroit.
How come you don't know him?
I know his name. I just can't.
There's a lot of big fat guys out of Detroit.
Whitfield. Thomas.
Thomas Whitfield.
Thomas. God dog it, guys.
I didn't know he was from Detroit, so you had me there.
Texas. I thought he was from Texas.
No, Detroit. Thomas Whitfield.
Okay.
You say Detroit, I automatically start thinking about them Winans.
Right.
No, they Whitfield, the Clark sisters, the Winans, all of them were from Detroit. Detroit was really the northern gospel capital. It was not Chicago.
It was.
James Cleveland was from Detroit.
Them fighting words.
No, but it's true though. It's true. It's true.
Them fighting words.
Rance wasn't from Detroit, was he?
Ooh, I don't know.
Rance is from Detroit.
We'll find out here in just a second.
I think Rance was from Ohio. I don't think he was from Detroit.
I feel like he wasn't from Detroit. I could be wrong, but I don't think he was.
He was from Monroe, Michigan.
That's what I thought. Oh, Michigan. Wow.
Monroe, Michigan, based in Toledo, Ohio.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay. All right. Well, then we just wanted to end on something fun, Mama Noise. I'm sorry.
Lost her a long time ago.
No, she's still with us. She just need to circle around John P. Key and Fred Hammond. That's where her musicality began. John P. Key, Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin, that group down there. So I apologize, Mama Noise. I really thought you knew those two singers.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me.
She did. She just didn't want to show y'all up.
That's what it was. All right. One more show before we go on vacay. That's next Tuesday. We will see y'all then. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight. Remember to like, subscribe, share, all that, follow, all that good stuff. We got some special stuff coming up down the pike, but we appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And yeah.
We're talking just NOIZ. We're talking just NOIZ.